Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and you're going to want to stick around because the third answer is a secret as to why KDP especially can be a good choice. Now, if you stick around, by the end of this video, you're going to know whether or not Kindle Direct Publishing is still worth it. You're going to have the information necessary in order to make the right choice for yourself, and you're going to feel amazing as you go about making that choice of whether to jump into Kindle Direct Publishing or not. So let's get into it. The question that was sent in to me today was, KDP Publishing, is it still worth it? And this is an excellent question that many people wonder about because we know a lot about the golden age of Kindle Direct Publishing between 2010 and 2015, when all sorts of books that would be put on the market would immediately be making a profit, regardless of their cover, the niche, the topic. It almost didn't matter. Those books were selling hundreds or thousands and thousands of copies each, and the author could almost be anybody, so anything could be put out there. That was until the market started getting flooded, and then things started to slow down. So then the question is, but is it still worth it today? Well, that deals with an interesting question, which is the idea of value, whether something is actually worth it. And for me, let me hit a little bit of a story that I have. When I first was at work and I was looking around and I noticed some people who had Apple Watches, I wondered a little bit if maybe it would be right for me. Now, all of these years, I had been using just a normal standard watch and found that it was just fine for my needs. And so it wasn't completely clear that I should move over to another technology. And so as I was looking at it, I wondered, well, is the Apple Watch worth it? Because I saw clearly the price could have been restrictive, and then maybe you have to charge it every day, and there's all sorts of issues that are associated with it. And so it wasn't clear, and I decided, therefore, I probably wouldn't do it because it didn't seem that I would be getting the value out of it that I would be hoping to get. And I knew that if I had bought it and regretted it, then what exactly would I do? What should I do about that? That was until my friend Bill came around and informed me that what if instead of buying a new one, you went onto Craigslist and throw a low bid offer for a used one. For example, for 60% or 40% off or 30% or 50% off of the actual price, and whether or not that would be a better strategy for me. So I thought about that for a while and realized, yes, when it comes to value, that risk associated with doing it, the investment that I would have made, that possibly if I did it this way, I could always resell it back on Craigslist and perhaps make my money back. So what I ended up doing, though, was that I put out and I said, okay, well, what's the new price? And then I said, okay, let's put bids at half the price on it. And so I just taking Bill's advice, I put out the bids at half the price. And until after 200 bids, about 0.5% responded and took the offer, at which point I got an Apple Watch and I started using it, only to realize that it would completely transform my life in multiple ways, both in terms of exercising more, being aware of the steps that I'm taking on a daily basis, and also in terms of my schedule and everything, to the point where other family members, we began buying it for the kids and such, in order so that they also could experience that same level of transformation. And so for me, I saw that it definitely was worth it. But this is always a question that we have when we're going into something. Is it worth it? And when you're looking at KDP Publishing, it's really not any different than that. And so let's get into the answers for today. So KDP Publishing, is it still worth it? The first answer is yes, it is definitely worth it. There are more readers than ever looking for something to read. And many people maybe can't get to a bookstore, but they have their phones, and the phones have the Kindle device built into it. That means that they're able to just pay a smaller fee and get the digital copy of the book loaded on their phone and to read the book. And since more and more people in more and more countries are getting cell phones, that means that you have more potential readers interested in more niches and subjects. And now we come back to the issue, which is that there may be in some niches not that many books, where there's lots of people buying and not many books available. And if you're writing in those niches, you're going to find an absolute winning strategy for yourself. So That was the first big discovery, and that's the first answer. The second one is the tools for book creation are extremely cheap and easy to use. In fact, you could get started for absolutely free. Now, I would say if I were going to invest in one tool, I would invest in Jutoh, which you can find my affiliate link below in the description, to doing the book formatting, because then you've got the formatting for your Kindle, for your EPUB version for Smashwords. You've got your PDF for your hardback, your paperback on KDP print, and your paperback on Ingram Spark. So that's 7 different copies. You can then use those for your narrator on ACX Audible. So we have like all of these different versions and these different formats that we're able to take our books and put them into simply by using one formatting tool that only costs, I don't know, $50 or something. It's very inexpensive for the amount of money that you can make back from that single investment. The second thing I would be doing is getting the covers right. I use a designer on Fiverr. You can find my affiliate link below in the description, the exact person I use to make sure the books I'm putting on the market are selling. And again, I would get the premium photo and nothing else. And so that means you can do it for as little as $18. You're looking at a fantastic cover, a well-formatted book, and you just put it on the market. And with a little bit of advertising and such, you're going to be able to get some sales on that book. And so that's the second thing. And the third and secret answer of the day is there is no way of making more money on the internet faster than through Kindle Direct Publishing. You can put a book out within a day. Okay, so you can write it yourself. You can pay other people to write it if you're not feeling comfortable with writing, and you can pay relatively little for a high quality book. You have to edit it, of course, to make sure that the writing is smooth and flowing and making sure it's all original material. But the amount of money that can be made off of that single book that cost, let's say you could even do a book as cheap as, I don't know, it could be $60, $80. You could get a book onto the market. And then you're making that money back in the different formats that you have. Okay. So this is something that a lot of people get wrong when they're looking at going into trying to make money online. They overlook Kindle Direct Publishing, thinking that the golden age is gone. So KDP Publishing, is it still worth it? What have you found? Is it worth it for you? Let me know below in the comments, and check up above me here, and you can find more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.